They talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness. They talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness. They talking all of this madness.
What's up, everybody? You are watching, you are listening to the Matt Madness Network live on YouTube. I'm your host for tonight, Ayla Aaron Lloyd. Clap it up. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I'm joined with my guy, Dirty Dominic, Eric Trembicki. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing pretty good. I was just wondering, imagine if we had Donovan remix the intro, but chopped and screwed.
I was never a fan of the chopped and screwed era. I hated it.
Me, that'll be my first bad take of the night.
I actually remember the first one I bought because I didn't know what it was. I actually bought an album. It was I think it was the 8-Ball MJG chopped and screwed album because I didn't know what it was.
It was slow as hell, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but I never you
didn't know the genre or
I'm showing my age. I'm showing my age because in Circuit City, you would spend a bunch of time going down the aisles, Sam Goody's, Circuit City, FYE. You would go down the aisles.
Sam Goody.
Yeah. You would go down the aisles and just kind of just go through the music and see who had albums came out or whatever. And I never knew what chopped and screwed was or whatever. And then as always, in like a lot of those stores, they had like the sample. They had the section where you could like scroll through and pick if you want to sample and hear some songs from the album. But of course, they never fucking work. So I was like, you know what? I don't know what this is, so I'll try this. And on that album, one of my favorite songs personally of all time is Straight Cadillac Pimpin'. And that song was on that album. And then I was like, okay, so I immediately go right to that song on the album.
And you
it's
think
I'm spinning the loop. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Where's $10 I spent in my life?
Oh, man. But shout out to Circuit City. My local Circuit City is a wine and spirits now.
Yeah, because we got one in New York. They built like this whole shopping center. So like where I lived, it was like right by the trail. It was like a 20-minute walk or bike ride. So me and my guy James, shout out to my guy James, by the way.
Good brother.
So me and him, so he would always hit me up. He'd be like, hey, you want to go ride bikes? So we always go to Circuit City because they had a Circuit City, Target, or whatever. And we were like, and also in Circuit City, like the video game section, you actually had they had demos. You could actually play the video game and stuff like that. So that's what I would do all the time in New York. I would go on a bike ride. We ride out to the Circuit City in the shopping center over there. But yeah, good times. But as always, guys, subscribe to this podcast for the best experience. Make sure to watch on YouTube. Thumbs up for the algorithm and turn your post notifications and subscribe. All right, so what's been going on in the world since we were gone? Took a week off. Nothing we talked about last week. So a couple of weeks ago, we had Kalani Jordan win the Knockouts title. So look at that.
Hell yeah.
We had that happen. AEW introduced belts that made sense. Salute to them for that. NXT Showdown happened. Salute to that. We'll talk to that. We'll get to that in a second. And I gotta talk about this, man, because this AI shit's getting wild, bro. It's getting crazy.
I never been a fan.
I woke up Sunday morning and I just started like seeing them. I didn't like really pay it no mind. And then you started sending them to me. And then Monday morning, my brother is sending me stuff that he made of himself.
That he made?
Of himself, yes.
Of himself.
Of himself, yes. Like he had himself at an Eagles press conference talking about the loss. He had a video of him robbing a Starbucks. It was wild. And this is getting out. This is really getting out. I'm gonna share some of these because this is getting crazy. It really is. I'm gonna share some of this one. This one in particular.
Stephen Hawkins off the Hell in the Cell.
This is wild. We got our real black king, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Let's see. Come on.
You want to know the truth? I ain't got no dreams no more. I am the dream.
Why did you say that?
That is wild.
Unbelievable.
And the fact that they have like the commentary is crazy, and then this one is even more wild.
This is good.
He looks like he was born to walk that ramp.
This
Yo,
is
anybody
crazy.
back there think they got the whole to step up? I'm right here. Oh. No way, no way. You've been running your mouth all week, champ, talking like the throne's yours, but you standing in my house now. This ring, this is West Coast territory tonight, and I'm setting it off. Biggie, you've been shining too long, hiding behind that gold. Tonight I'm kicking the door in. That cell's gonna lock behind us, and there ain't no bodyguard, no entourage, just you, me, and every single.
This is getting crazy. It really is. Like, hold on. Let's see here. That's wild. It's disturbing and wild.
Peculiar.
But I just had to share that because that is crazy that they actually put them in wrestling rings, which I did get a laugh at it, but I'm like, this is crazy. So we are going to preview Crown Jewel Perth in a little bit, but we're going to start in AEW land. So while we were away, Tony Khan introduced a new set of championships. So we're getting the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. Now, if I missed anything, did we get a bracket or anything yet?
To my knowledge, no, unless it was debuted on Collision, but I do not believe so.
Okay, so we have AEW Women's World Championships that's been introduced. In my opinion, much needed. If there's any titles that actually came into play, it should have been this because they have this plethora of women that always are in tag team competition, and the women's roster is already overloaded as it is. So this gives them actually something else actually to do. So I'll go to you first. What are your thoughts on these women's tag team titles finally coming to AEW?
Man, I feel like this is AI right now, and me and you are swapping what our history would have proven as a take on this. I'm not too excited.
Really?
Unfortunately, besides Ty Mello and Anna Jay, I don't really think of any women duo. Obviously due to like pregnancy and stuff, but they haven't been consistently on the show, but they've been together for a long duration. Britt has been affiliated with some people. Britt hasn't been on the show. Jamie Hayter was affiliated with people. They're no longer really somebody that I would find her synonymous with. Tony Storm, same thing. There's a lot of makeshift, like short-lived relationships. I don't think there's enough grounds for actual teams. I am happy for the women to have more options. Obviously, they have the two singles titles, but at the end of the day, you could say they got 4 singles titles when you factor in Ring of Honor. And if I'm correct, I think Ring of Honor is introducing a third singles women's title. So they're going to have like 5 singles belts between the two companies, which, feature both championships all the time. And obviously you got Mercedes Moné running around with 8-9 championships from, other companies. To me, I just can't really come up with, I have a hard enough time coming up with 2 teams that should be competing for these belts. Who's Sky? Is Sky Blue still teaming with Julia Hart? They probably are, but both of them have been kind of injury cursed. And obviously, like Julia Hart, I believe they're still running together. They'll probably end up in the tournament. But like she had like her Julia Hart had like her like quiet fade away from like the House of Black, and then obviously Malachi leaves and Buddy is hurt, and then now Brody King's over here doing he's a tag team champion with Bandito, which again, a makeshift team. I know a lot of people are a huge fan of it, but to me, I look at that as a transitional team.
So like I was saying, you actually hit on it too. Early AEW, it was valid because like you had Jamie Hayter with Britt Baker, then you had the NWO of the Outcast with Saraya, Ruby, and
Tony
and Tony Storm at the time. You always had Ty J, but Ty got pregnant or whatever, so we got them going for a little bit. But then you saw Anna J teaming with Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron is probably like the MVP of
Willow and Chris Statlander at a point.
Yeah, they were, yes. Harley Cameron, in my opinion, is probably one of the biggest MVPs of the company because even when Mercedes, like that
she'll
whole
end up in the finals of this thing. We don't even know who she'll be a team with. I think she's gonna have some. I think when it leads up to it, I think she's gonna like tease one in a team with like 4 different people. That's kind of the direction I think.
Yeah, it's the fun thing. Like I know you remember like the whole Heath Slater angle in WWE.
Oh yeah.
When he teamed
we
with
just
Rhino.
need Rhino to team with her.
Yeah. So Harley Cameron, she'll be like the one that's searching for a partner, and I think that'll be fun because like I talked about this a lot throughout the year. A lot of what kind of like brought Mercedes back for me personally, I'm sure a lot of people, was the stuff with Harley Cameron, and the fact that Harley Cameron like had that backstage moment with her, bringing in Minnie Monet and having that whole moment with her. I thought it was really fun. And then also like she teamed up with Anna Jay at the same time. Anna Jay while Ty was out, kind of like hopping from partner to partner. I think that's going to be a good storyline to actually tell when it comes to these AEW Women's Tag Team titles. But I do think it's about time they have it because I'm not sure they're still doing this, but even like we had Deanna and Taya, I believe. I'm not even sure that's still a thing or not.
Deanna, as far as I know, as I just mentioned, and I think I said this on the show 2 weeks ago, she's in a tournament for a new mid-card title in Ring of Honor, as far as I know. That's not something I don't know if she advanced. I don't know if she was eliminated first round. I think I texted you the day after this. I was rewatching Revolution 2024 because I wanted to rewatch Sting's retirement match. Beautiful again, by the way. But before that match was Deanna versus Tony, which they had that phenomenal build up, and the storyline, the tattoo, all this. But like Deanna's presence, I've never been like huge on her. I've never knocked her. She didn't cultivate to me like other characters do. But rewatching that, I was like, damn, they really did let her aura dip because like that entrance, and I don't know, obviously it's a smaller stage, but in that big arena for that show, she came out, she was a star. She looked it. And I mean, I obviously like I know Tony Storm wins that match, but like in that entrance, you're like, yo, this girl could win, right?
Yeah, so for me, Deanna, as you know, like Deanna Purrazzo was like a real personal favorite of mine. So that for a long time. I never really cared about it. I stopped caring about interviews a while ago, but she's like one person I've emailed constantly since she got released from WWE. Like the second she got released from WWE, I was in her emails. Didn't get a response. Still haven't 5 years later. Come on, Tony. Come on, Deanna. But I've always found her real interesting, and like her TNA run kind of validated everything I kind of felt. I thought her TNA run was actually really good, and you have to remember that was also in the COVID era when there was nobody around, and then the whole Mickie James angle was great. And then she comes to AEW, and then like I immediately felt sorry for her because I knew exactly what was going to happen. She has that great debut and that good feud with Tony Storm, and after that, it's like you don't really see her. She was pretty much in the background with Taya for the longest time until recently, where she's kind of come back and she's in this tournament for this Ring of Honor championship in ROH. But Deanna's really somebody that I actually like really want to see actually succeed. I think she's really, really good in AEW. I think she's kind of just got lost in the shuffle or lost in the way Tony runs things for the women's division, because she just kind of fell into the pile everybody else does when they're done at their initial feud. As our good friend Jake Hager said, he's great with debuts, but after that,
yeah, sometimes like bring up the whole Ring of Honor thing. Like sometimes I really think it's a mix of like, I always like to think like the people that aren't being used on AEW, like not to like diminish like Ring of Honor in the way it came off with Deanna, but I'm always like, man, there's so many people, and especially the early years of Tony having it, you're always like, man, this person has like history in Ring of Honor. They should be doing this. This person used to be this champion. They should be doing this. But I think a lot of people look at it. I'm assuming a lot of these wrestlers probably look at it like, yo, it's beneath me. I'm not being used, but don't use me over there. I think a great explanation of somebody who was just like, yo, I just want to be used, and if I'm not wrestling on Wednesday, put me anywhere, was Brian Cage. Because like he did win a singles mid-card title there. He was a few-time Ring of Honor 6-man tag champion, and he kept getting integrated in different things. He would have like, yo, we need a monster to face this baby face. He'd show up. Hey, we need a 6-man group to face FTR and blah, blah, blah. okay, cool. Here's Brian Cage with his two buddies. And he would always just show up and it's like, oh, wow, yo, did you know? Okay, look, here's some guy from Ring of Honor and he's got a belt on. So you always got to pick and play with some of these people. And I do think maybe a lot of these, like, you know, we bring up that example, those people that come from WWE and they don't get booked right. You know, I think if they flounder or they disappear in 2 months, they should be like, yo, at least use me over there. Use me there now. Use me ASAP.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's just the way things just happen to go over there. And another thing about
who knows? Hopefully it'll change. I know this may be where you're going or not, but last week we did a review, and on the 6-year anniversary of Dynamite, after the opening 6-man tag match, we got the return of Andrade to AEW, which makes him a one-of-one. He is the first person to leave WWE, debut in AEW, spend some time in there, go through a flaming table with the WWE champion in AEW, and then make himself back to the Royal Rumble, spend a little year or so in WWE, and make his way back now to AEW. So he's the first one, go back and forth twice. I'm hoping for the best for him. I wanted a lot more from his first AEW run, but I think he learned from his first time, and hopefully he learned from going to WWE for a second time. Praying for the best for him, but only time will tell.
Yeah, as I said in the group text, he must have to get away from Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean,
he had to.
I guess like the one thing I try to explain this to Kelly, like it's one thing when you're married to someone and they're more successful than you, and they were more successful with you than you when you guys met in WWE. You left to try to go do something elsewhere. You came back to be with your wife, and then you guys get divorced. Well, she's still going to be more successful. Why the hell would you want to be there? You got to get out, I guess.
Yeah. So as you hit on, AEW had a 6-year anniversary last week on Dynamite, and Dynamite, I think they got a bit of a short end of the stick because we had COVID a few months after Dynamite actually debuted. So I think a little bit of growth got stunted, and things could have been a little bit better because there were no crowds around. So in the 6 years of Dynamite, what are some of the highlights for you?
Glad you asked. However, I do want to mention, despite COVID hitting within those, less than a year into it, I do think it is crucial to mention, and I'll debate it, their first year, if not 2 years of their COVID shows, their Jacksonville shows, lapped, defeated everything Raw and SmackDown were doing.
2019
SmackDown had Roman doing something in the development of the Tribal Chief, a no rope ring with underground, and the Hurt Business, and nothing else.
I'll give you the 20 till. Yeah, I'll give you that. Because looking back at 2019 WWE, that was like the what the fuck am I watching year.
Oh yeah.
Even got past the crash out.
My favorite thing is like the meme right now. It's like you think some like, okay, oh cool, like you're complaining about TKO. You think it's hard being a wrestling fan? Talk to me about 2019. Talk to me about 2012. But talk to me about 2011. You weren't. Come on, if you didn't go through that,
2019
ain't that bad.
Even as I look to my right, I got the poster from the Extreme Rules 2019, and not to say there weren't good things that happened, but 2019 WWE was rough.
Decent show actually. Might have been a year outside of probably Mania.
Yeah, it was a decent show, but 2019 WWE was rough. And when AEW first started, we were all excited about Dynamite because it was the first time we got these guys on television. It was the first time we had alternative in almost 20 years. So it was it was new. So give me some of your highlights of the 6 years.
I want to spew few honorable mentions, just some things. I mean, there was a lot of moments, there was a lot of promos. I'm going to forget so much. One, as a championship mark, I'm going to say the crossover of different championships. We saw championships from New Japan, from Mexico. Obviously, with what Mercedes is doing from small indie promotions, obviously the Ring of Honor stuff, the GCW championship we even got to see, FTR holding 3 championships at a different company, awesome stuff. A lot of debuts of people we never knew about, debuts of people from WWE, debuts of people coming again internationally, return of Sting, who we all thought was retired and had his handful of matches in WWE. And again, hard back on it because I said I rewatched. I don't know what he may have had 6 WWE matches max, I think, and his one match he won was by like a DQ.
I think it was 4.
So if it was 4 and he won one by a DQ, but meanwhile, I think it was a Raw match, the one he won.
Yeah, I think he fought the Big Show.
And meanwhile, he went 29-0 in AEW. A few of those matches, Orn Dynamite. I had a list of like a 10 plus. But one thing huge one I loved, that it was a holiday bash show 3 days before Christmas. FTR and Max from the Pinnacle against Darby Allin, Sting, and CM Punk deeming the Stinger Surfer Sting paint. Omega versus Bryan multiple times. Jericho and MJF, each wrestler, both had great matches. Both reinvented themselves. Both did different things funny. MJF came out with Pride and Powerful wearing Puerto Rico tights. Jericho went back to the 90s and became the Lionheart. FTR and the Bucks. FTR everything. 6-star FTR, 7-star FTR. FTR's debut. FTR and the Bucks in 22 having one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. I'm not a Will Ospreay guy, but Will Ospreay and MJF had one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time on Dynamite. I'll keep it simpler than this. I could name a bunch of them, but the TNT Open Challenge. Sami Zayn is doing a great U.S. Open Challenge right now on SmackDown, but I'd argue what Cody did with the Open Challenge with the TNT is the closest Open Challenge ever to Cena's, because he really did show a lot of no-name people that were already signed to AEW and a lot of people that became signed. Ricky Starks that was his debut, and he wasn't signed. He got signed because of that match. Same thing with Eddie Kingston, who's still with the company to this day. Speaking of TNT title, he didn't win it on Dynamite, but he defended it. Brody Lee, and getting rated on Brody Lee, I got to go to the Brody Lee tribute show. It was kind of off the beaten path for the regular formula, but that's a great wrestling show. If you just want to watch a TV show and just like relive, is something in its time. Several other things here, but the two most important ones I feel like I gotta. No. Punk and Mox, everything. Punk and Mox promos. Punk and Mox had a match. Speaking of matches, the lights out match could have been a little sloppy, but however, in my opinion, in my heart, it's one of the greatest women matches of all time. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. Talking about championships from other promotions. She was the NWA Women's Champion at that time. And then I will just go October 2nd, 2019. Hopefully my notes isn't jacked up, but the anniversary, that was the original show. I was there live in DC. Everything about it was great. It felt like you weren't at a WWE show. The last time a show that big, that important, that was on TV, I was 10 years old. I couldn't have been there. So I never had to feel something like that. That was on TV, live, and exciting. Cody in the opener, Mox causing chaos in the main event, Jake Hager with his debut, giving that Luger spot. Shout out to Pac. He just returned from injury recently, and I'm hoping the best for him because I remember his entrance on that. I'm like, yo, he might be a smaller guy, but like that guy could be everything in this company. He should be a world champion. Should be so much. But a lot of great memories from Dynamite. It was great for 6 years. We've had an alternative. And just tons of great memories. As a wrestling fan, 6 years of a great episodic show.
Little minor nitpick. So those steamed episodes, do you classify those as dynamites?
Yeah, I mean it's in the
It's Wednesday.
slot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I didn't include
well, with that one little tidbit, and it's one thing like you and I would forget. There's a lot. There are Raws in the early '90s that weren't on Mondays.
I know.
And so like it's Wednesday night right now while we're recording, but they're not on tonight due to the MLB playoffs. So last night was Title Tuesday. Shout out to King Coley. They really stole a black man's Instagram hashtag, and they made it a TV gimmick. I mean, at least when they guys are in Detroit, put him like front row or something. But which no titles even changed hands last night. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. They did have 2 championship matches. Yeah, so like that's still Dynamite. It was Title Tuesday. Winter is coming. I mean, I was trying to think of a better, and Blood and Guts is always an episode of Dynamite as well.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you classified those special events because they didn't call them Dynamite. They had their own names.
Yeah, yeah, but it's in that slot. Like if you the best
I
way
get
I can
it.
compare, you pull up YouTube TV and you go to AEW, like you go to that slot, it's gonna say AEW Dynamite, All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. It's not gonna say All Elite Wrestling Winter is coming.
Oh, okay. I got you. That was just a minor nitpick.
I'm only 90% sure I'm right, but you didn't argue, so.
Well, as far as the TV guide thing, no, I never paid it any mind. So for me, I still think the best match from Dynamite was Pac and Kenny Omega. It was like a 30-minute Iron Man match.
That's year one, or no? Does that be pre-COVID?
Yeah, that's year one. That's pre-COVID.
Yeah.
It's like one of the earlier episodes. It was one of the earlier episodes. I think that was a really good match. That's one of the best. That's the match I think of when I think of actual Dynamite. We all know like the early months of Dynamite, it was a transition because you're bringing in all these guys that weren't on TV, not TV wrestlers, trying to turn them into TV wrestlers. So it was a little rough, and we saw a lot of transition from the months after that. But something I really did enjoy was the MJF and Cody stuff, whether it was the Friends or even better when MJF finally turned on Cody and we had the moment of the lashes. I really did like the whole lash segment because like Brandy at the time was trying to be a heel, and she even had to come outside and console Cody while he took these lashes because Cody kept his word. We also had the MJF try to be a part of the inner circle thing. I thought that was really fun as well with Jericho. The hangover segment in Vegas, really great, real fun. The introduction of Wardlow with MJF, I always thought was really good. As far as like debuts, like what was it Brian and Omega or was it Brian and Hangman who had the Broadway? Arthur Ashe
Brian and Hangman. Maybe both. Honestly, maybe both.
I know it was a time limit draw. Okay.
Was both.
Okay. And then as far as debuts, something that we didn't think we would see, the debut of Saraya for me, even though it didn't really lead to much, but we did get Saraya back. Never thought we would actually see her again. She got one more final run before she hung up her boots pretty much for good. But Dynamite, they had a good time, and you also good run. You also talked about when Punk teamed with Sting and he had the face paint, real fun stuff. But AEW, they've done good things. I've always given them credit for the good things they've done. I just know for the last three years, maybe it's just been like a lot of like, what the hell's going on here?
So I love AEW. It'll always have a soft spot in my heart. I think their best way to explain a couple hard takes with it. So I mentioned this last week, but not on the show, which is weren't here. I sent a text to you in prep. Like, it was great after that opener 6-man tag and Andrade made his return after the attack. They showed in my opinion, a very well done video package. And in 6 years, probably the greatest video package AEW's ever put together. And it was clips from just Dynamite, 6 years of it, blah, 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 blah. They showed, Ricky was in it, who's obviously the NXT champion. You got Cody. I think we had 3 little clips of him, roughly, who's the WWE champion. I love that they didn't stray away. And even I mentioned Punk with the Sting mat paint. They even showed Punk from there. So these people who Tony may have some something against, blah, 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 people that are shining elsewhere, I appreciate that nod to them because you can't forget their history with the company. And I jokingly looked. We were talking about like, debuts. I'm looking at like my honorable mention notes. Shout out to Mike Tyson and Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh Lord.
I'm
I'm sorry. One of my favorite clips of all time. I also got from
I was queuing you up.
6 years of Dynamite.
You have it handy.
Told you tonight was open mic night, bitch.
Dynamite. That's probably the best gift AEW's ever given me. And
I thought it'd be on your list. I was like,
I forgot all about that. That went over my head. I'm so happy you brought that up.
In a beautiful Mark moment. I gotta say this. So last night, Title Tuesday. Oh my God, I don't even want to get into it. WWE NXT Invasion.
We're getting there.
Well, Showdown was on my TV. Had them both on. So I tried to explain it. Kelly's like, what the hell's going on? Like, don't you want to know? I got 2 wrestling shows on at the same time, blah, blah, blah. But one thing I will say, and this is actually, because you say, like, AEW was dealt a bad hand due to COVID. But they optimized that incident, in my opinion. Also, majority of their shows for over a year being all at Daly's Place. In my opinion, in my heart of hearts, everyone talks about the Mecca of Madison Square Garden. That's where you want to see a wrestling show. The ECW Arena, which we've been dozens of times. Tokyo Dome. Obviously, all these stadiums, Superdome, blah, 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 blah. I would add one of the, like a dream place to see a wrestling show would be Daly's Place. And I know like a year into Dynamite, 2 years into Dynamite, there was a few times I was like, I looked into tickets. I was like, does it make sense? Should I go? Blah, 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 blah. So obviously they had their homecoming there a couple weeks ago. But one day, whether it be for a pay-per-view or for a Dynamite, that is somewhere I will attend a wrestling show at. And again, something that, a concert theater in Jacksonville, Florida, if it wasn't for their Wednesday wrestling show, that would not be the case.
All right. So you talked about NXT also happened last night. So last night we also did have NXT TNA Showdown, and we had the Hardys with a hell of an accolade. The first team to hold all the major championships, including the NXT championships, would have been AEW 2, but Jeff got in trouble. And we had Ethan Page retain the North American Championship against Mustafa Ali. The NXT women won their elimination match, and the TNA men won their elimination match. So I don't want to say I'm not disappointed. I just had a whole different look on how I thought this would be. But I
thought there'd be a swerve. I thought there'd be a turn.
Yeah, I did, but I see where they went here, so I'm not upset. I see where they went here, but I'll let you take this first before I go. What were your thoughts on NXT Showdown last night?
I just went on like a 27-minute rant on how much I love AEW and Dynamite, so I'm going to be sounding like a real hypocrite. Dynamite ran for about 30 minutes past Showdown. Showdown was a better show. Could have been what they put in the main event slot, just rubbed me the wrong way on AEW, or just there was not a good enough cliffhanger. Again, that's what I was about to say. One of my issues with AEW, last week's show was phenomenal. This week's was it was all right. Like, I like it. I like the women from NXT. They got the W, and then the men in TNA in the main event, which TNA needs some big dubs. They got the win. Also, TNA opened the show by the Hardys. Huge accolade. Shout out to Matt and Jeff, arguably the greatest tag team of all time. Adding that, I thought we would get some type of swerve in the women's match. We didn't. I thought we'd get it both ways. But then when Joe Hendry didn't do nothing, when there was really no fill-in, I almost thought when Ricky got pinned, maybe Trick would come back out. But overall, for a Tuesday night show, which I normally never watch live, I was entertained.
Yeah. So,
shout out to Mustafa Ali. underrated and underappreciated. I'm a victim. I'm guilty of it. Didn't appreciate him enough. And his old song is a banger. They teased it. They teased it with his intro. His old song was a banger.
I did like they did play the old song, especially from the inspiration. But for me, I personally, like we talked about this, I thought we were going to get swerves, turns. We would get people's loyalties questioned. We kind of did get that, and I did like those breadcrumbs that they threw out there. But I think it started off perfectly. It started off the week prior when Kalani, she won the Knockout Championship. So, like I said, salute to Kalani for doing that. She's my second favorite, other than favorite two.
Shout out Kalani, just please.
Yeah, so she's my second favorite after JC Jane, and I think he'll turn away. I really do. And they did throw a swerve out there. They had her swerve and be the captain of Team TNA, which nobody really would expect her to actually be since she's an NXT wrestler. So what reason would she have to want to lead TNA? And then her forming her team, and then Jordan Grace saying she talks to Jordan Grace and she says, Jordan, the locker room doesn't really technically really trust you and Joe Hendry because you guys flip flop. You have love for both companies, so we don't know who to trust. So we're not going to have you on the team. I thought that was a nice touch because that is true. Me and you both hit on that as well about the people who worked both companies and the people that recently came over. And so they had that. And like I said, Kalani led them on that whole Tesla Cybertruck into the arena thing. And then they got made the special referees in the match. And then the Mustafa Ali thing where he came in and said, I'm not going to argue about it. I'm going to politic my way to my North American title match because that's what he's supposed to get before he actually got released in a couple of years ago. I thought they really presented it really, really well. I really do, because it's also a long-term story. And the way and after it was done, I kind of took it. And after it was done, I saw Ava and Santino interact, and it was basically like, all right, we kind of had to let all this frustration out. All right, we're back to our partnership. We just had to let this out.
Yeah,
we
just did good, but
yeah. And then everybody, they're still going to go back and forth and compete against each other, but tensions just got heated. We just had to kind of let all these frustrations out. And I think it also does an even better job of hyping up Bound for Glory this Sunday, this weekend, that I will actually watch, because I'm actually excited to watch Bound for Glory. Like I said, we got Kalani taking on Indy Hartwell for the Knockout title. The pie's divided. Both tag titles on the line. Hardys and Dudleys in the tag team tables match for the
shout out to Bubba, young NXT rising star.
Yeah, yeah, and then a match I can't wait to see: Leon Slater. I'm not sure if that was your first taste of him in NXT a few weeks ago. He's going to take on Javon Evans. I'm looking forward to that for the X Division Championship.
I watched him win the NXT Championship from Moose. Thank you very much.
Oh, you did? Oh, so you did watch Slammiversary?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I watched it too. So I'm looking forward to that match. That's going to happen, and then a thing that's going to be kind of hanging in the air is because Trick Williams was never officially eliminated. So he kind of has that. You guys didn't beat me in the main event from when he faces Mike Santana. So he's the last person I have to beat.
Shout out to Santana. It was speaking of AEW. I finally there was one of Santana's figures I was missing. Shout out to Ross getting those things in right now, because I just grabbed them for $4.
Yeah, I do think it was a really good shit, and it did what it had to do. And I'm not mad that it was in it. I'm not upset that they didn't go the whole alliance route we thought we were doing. Because another thing that crossed my mind too was with the alliance thing, WWE owned WCW and ECW. TNA is still its own entity, at least for now.
Hold on. There are similarities.
There are similarities.
Because Kalani's team, you could argue, is an NXT team.
It is. And that's what we talked about.
So, I mean, you got the Inspiration, the Iconics, who everyone remembers obviously more from their WWE run. They got gold. You got Kalani, who is an NXT wrestler with a TNA belt. And then, with all due respect, you got the girl that got fired, who I don't even know her name, and she's heartbroken of it, and she was botching in the match. So that, I mean, it was bad. So there was nobody really that you would associate from there, which I feel like I know because I know there's a few people they probably don't want to touch in the company, but that should have been. I'd rather if you're going to bring someone back from WWE past, it should have been Alicia Fox and then it should have been Tessa Blanchard.
They are not bringing Tessa Blanchard on TV. You know that for a fact. They are not bringing Tessa Blanchard on TV.
They need to. If they want some heat, they get that Dom heat. That 2022 Dom heat.
Oh God, Tessa Blanchard will not be on this WWE TV screen at all. They will destroy her because when I watched Slammiversary, she got against Indy. She got destroyed by the crowd. But yeah, I really did enjoy Showdown, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen next because there's more stories.
Oh, her theme song is a banger, by the way.
Oh, it is. It is.
It is. You listen to her yet?
What? I've seen her wrestle. I've seen a few of her matches.
Nah, the girl that sings her song.
Yeah, I believe you sent her to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this whole partnership thing, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to what actually was going to continue to happen. Ava, she said that she wanted some knockouts to come in a battle royal to determine JC Jane's next challenger. And we got Matt Cardona coming back next week, so it's going to be good to see Matt Cardona and the pop he'll actually get when his music hits.
What if he comes out there and get the stay hype gear?
Oh Lord, he would do something like that, even though he hates Mojo. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying this, and I can't wait for Bound for Glory on this weekend to actually watch and talk about it next week when we're here. All right, so
it'll be cheaper to watch than watching the Crown Jewel show.
I still have not figured out how to watch it, but I will watch it.
I figured out how they want me to watch it.
Yes,
I haven't figured out how I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to find a way. So we do have Crown Jewel Perth this weekend. We have 5 matches so far, and we're going to start with what will probably end up being the main event. We have Cody Raheem Rhodes. He will challenge Seth Rollins for the men's Crown Jewel Championship. And Seth Rollins, he's been hell-bent on defeating Cody Rhodes. So can Seth finally conquer his American nightmare?
He has to. Then keep it short and sweet. Seth has to win. Seth Rollins is arguably the greatest, and I've been saying on this show for a decade. He's arguably the greatest in-ring wrestler now or ever. I'm a bigger fan of Cody. But with that win-loss streak, Seth has to win. Cody don't need to win this 2 years in a row. Cody got the PWI award 2 years in a row. He don't need the Crown Jewel Bling Blow Championship 2 years. Seth needs this bad.
Yeah, so when it comes to this entire show, I'm looking forward to this because especially when it comes to the champion versus champion matches, you don't really need a lot of build for that because it's kind of like let's see who's the better man. But with these two,
they have a story and they've been doing it right.
Yeah, and with Cody and Seth, it's like right immediately they're going back to "You never beat me," and the video package that they've been showing, especially when it came to Cody's injury at Hell in a Cell, is Seth helping him at WrestleMania last year, and why he did it. It really is telling a great story for those two and why this is actually continuing. Why is it so important? And the fact that he even has Paul Heyman questioning, did I pick the right person?
And another great detail. So a year and a half ago, The Rock gave Cody something as a gift, and everyone insinuated because it was said in interviews that Cody gifted everyone in that tag match. He gifted them a Rolex. So we never got the payoff. A year goes by, 6 months go by, a year and a half goes by. We're all thinking The Rock's finally going to do something with the Rolex. Cool, we never got to do that. Well, Seth also got one of those, but Seth was his partner. So Seth's like, then it's just been showed in the podcast, the Wheatley Vodka podcast. Cody asked Becky, like, yo, does he have the watch? Yeah, he has it. Has he ever worn it? No, I don't think he's ever worn it. And then he even says it on Raw. He's like, I've never wore this. Like, just showing some of the personal thing. It's great for us, the super fans. A casual person can listen to that and just be like, hey, what the hell's going on? But, you know, you see it's a gift. And obviously anybody knows what it's like when you give a gift and it's not adorned or appreciated. Yeah,
and just the fact of how hell-bent he's going to be to beat him. So I'm not sure the lengths or limits he's actually going to go in this match. But the match is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to actually watch it. And I'm going to go with Seth Rollins to win. I'm assuming that you're going to go the same way.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. Short and sweet. Seth's got to win.
All right, so that's Seth Rollins. And next we're going to Roman and Brett in an Australian street fight. I'll say this right now. You knew the shoe shit was over when Roman wore undefeateds because he was like, y'all not taking shit off my feet no more. So Roman Reigns returns. He calls out Bronson Reed. Paul Heyman talks about how Bronson was made famous by Australian street fights, and that's what we're going to get at Crown Jewel this weekend. So what you got for me? Thoughts and a winner.
I think the match should also, more and more I think about, I haven't even really thought about the card. After we just even discussed that world champion versus world champion match, man, that really, that could be match of the year. Their last match against each other delivered with the street fight gimmick. Roman might be able to lose. I'm gonna go crazy. Bronson Reed wins.
Really? Bronson
Reed wins, and this match is going to deliver. If I'm wrong, what I was wrong and Roman won, won't be hurt. But yeah, I'm going to go wild. Bronson Reed wins, and this match bangs.
So I thought the post-match from their match at what show was it? Clash of the Castle. Clash of the Castle, whatever clash it was. I thought that was Clash in Paris. That's what it was. I thought that was equally as good as the match with him and Braun just destroying Roman. I thought it was really good and really well executed. Now, when it comes to the match, I do think that there could be some extra shenanigans where Bronson Reed does win this match because I want your thoughts on this too because we got Jey Uso going through a whole transformation. He is losing it and crashing out. He is paranoid. He wants his championship back. He's going through a lot. So I'm going to go with Roman to win because it's Roman. But give me your thoughts on this whole Jey Uso thing.
I'm here for it. Because especially like after the Netflix debut, everything we got in Mania, Jey winning the world title. I was like, all right, cool. Like that bloodline thing's like really done. But now we really got like the OG3 doing a storyline. It's the greatest arc of this past week's Raw. Jimmy talking crap on Roman to Jay really just talking like Roman talking on Jay, talking about Jimmy to Jay, like you don't need him, just keep doing your thing. It's great. And Jay turns heel, like he's gonna get babyface reactions either way if he does go that route. But if he turns heel, it's gonna actually make him more of a main event player because all the haters that while he was a face were all, he's just tag team guys, this, he's that. Well, when he's getting hated and he's out there doing it and he's winning the world title, it's just going to prove that he was the right guy this whole time.
Yeah, because we also talked about that. He needs something fresh. He really does, because he's been the biggest babyface in the company for the last couple of years, along with Cody, and you can't keep doing the same song and dance. And the fact of him kind of understanding why Roman acted the way he acted, and the possibilities we can get, because I do think that he's going to turn on Jimmy and Roman. I do think that's going to happen. I think he's going to go full on heel turn and turn on both of them. I really do, and I think that we can get another feud between.
I don't see him turning on Roman, but if he does, cool. It sounds exciting. It's different.
Yeah, I can see that happening because he's going to see. I know why you're you. Even when Punk threw that line, I said, I love Jey Uso. I hate little Roman. I thought that was an excellent line to actually throw out there. But I do expect a Jey Uso heel turn in the near future. I do think he's going to turn on his family again, and this storyline continues.
It's just the third inning all along.
All right, and then we have a match that doesn't really need much build, but allegedly AJ was supposed to win the Intercontinental title that I threw out that fantasy book before AJ faced Dom, but now we just have John Cena versus AJ Styles for the last time.
Any reason why he didn't?
I forgot what the sheet said. I forgot.
Fuck the sheets. Who said this? Meltzer?
I think it was. I think it had to do something with the Brock thing. I don't remember, but allegedly AJ was supposed
Fuck
to.
the sheets on fuck Brock. Cena
Allegedly-
wins.
Allegedly, AJ was supposed
This
to win.
card's gonna bang. Forgot about this.
It is going to bang, and I'm looking forward to it.
This is actually the only thing I really remembered, but I thought this would carry the show. This card's actually really gonna bang at 8 a.m.
because AJ Styles, he also in the meantime did announce that this will be 2026 will be his last year as well. So again, we're going to get somewhat of a farewell for AJ Styles. But this match, I'm looking forward to it. I talked about it a few weeks ago as well. Like when we do a John Cena list at the end of the year, there are 2 matches. I know at least one will be in my top 10.
About 3 matches.
3 matches. One will definitely be in my top 10.
4.
It will be.
Actually, I guess they had 4. I think it's 3 pay-per-views on a Raw.
Was it a Raw? Or was that? I know he fought Jericho.
Apparently, the record's 2-2.
Well, I
AJ
do
won the first 2 pay-per-views.
You know what it was? No, this is what it was.
won.
Cena pinned. When we remember we went to Battleground in DC. It was a 6-man tag. Cena pinned AJ.
Okay.
So that's probably.
I think there was a Raw, but I get what you're saying. I do think there was another one-on-one. I'm probably wrong, but I did read something online.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this match as well. It's going to be good to see these guys go at it for the last time. I do just wish it was for the Intercontinental Championship, like it allegedly reported was supposed to be, because Cena has never challenged for the IC title, and I'm like 99.9% sure about that. All right, and then we have another match I'm ecstatic to see. We're going to have for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Tiffany Stratton going one-on-one with Stephanie Baker.
I gotta pop my dick, man.
Yep. So give me your thoughts and what you got for me.
I love both. I don't want to say too much. I'm not gonna Booker T myself.
He might be my I honestly can have a whole soundboard of just him. He's been fantastic.
I have a method to my madness. But Tiffany wins.
You got Tiffany winning? I'm gonna go with
The loss won't hurt Steph as early as she is into this. The loss won't hurt her. I'll give my other tidbit after you go.
So for me, both women have been pretty much unbeatable. So I'm not. I'm gonna go with Tiffany because Tiffany doesn't really lose. I'll go with Tiffany. But going out of this, we kind of know the direction where they're actually going to go here, because we just kind of got like a bit of like friendly one from some friendly back and forth between the two, and then we already know Stephanie's going to go to the Roxanne route, and it seems to be but Stephanie's going to go the Roxanne route, and then we're going to have Tiffany pretty much go the Julia route. So,
oh yeah, but I don't know about the champion thing. You know what I think is going to happen? We're going to get that as a tag team match on SmackDown. In the morning. We're going to get the 2 champions versus Tiffany and her shorty, or no, Julia and her shorty.
Yeah, and then like after that, they'll split their ways. I do believe Roxanne's going to be the one to be up next for championship opportunity, because we're getting to Royal Rumble season, and spoiler alert, Liv Morgan is my personal favorite to win the Royal Rumble.
She's my personal favorite for everything.
She's you, unless she's grown up. She's you.
She ain't growing up.
So I'm gonna go with Tiffany to win that champion to win the Women's Crown Jewel Championship.
Also, as a supermark, Liv won last year. She was a world champion. Cody won. He was WWE champion. I see Seth winning. You get the world champion win. So that was part of my reason where I was like, oh, okay, cool. Last year, a world champion won. Women's world champion won. This year, it's going to be the women's WWE champion. Just flip-flop.
All right, and then the last match on the card, we have
Tag Team Turmoil.
This has actually been a pretty much mainstay and actually a really good story they've been telling on Raw. We got Rhea Ripley and Io Sky taking on the Kabuki Warriors. What you got for me?
Monday Night Mommies. Monday Night Mommies of the Sky. Rhea, take it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good match. All 4 women can go. Most of the time, Kyrie it's been her best 12 months ever. But yeah, it should be fun. This could happen on Raw, but I get it.
So they've been telling the story for a while, and it's actually really, really good. And it all started by Io really not wanting
It all
help.
started with a kiss. How did it end up like this?
Because we were like, what's going on here? What are they doing with Rhea and Io? And then they do this. It's like, all right, you split the Kabuki Warriors up, and now you got
playing the face of what they were doing with it.
So we got that, and it's like, all right, they've been telling a real good story about Asuka. She's out here yelling at Kyrie, and Kyrie is split, doesn't know what to do. I'm assuming the Phillies are winning. I need the Dodgers money line, but I'm looking forward to the match. I think it's going to be really, really good. And I'm sure I'm really want to know where Kyrie's alliance lies, because even Asuka just crashing out on her on Raw Monday night and through this entire time. I think it's been really good. I think Asuka's been fantastic since she's been back, and this has actually been really good for Asuka. So I'm going to go with the Kabuki Warriors to win, because I think Kyrie's going to make her mind up and she's going to align with Asuka. Good Lord. Well, that $100 is in the trash. Right. Anything else for me?
You bet $100?
I do this. I've been hot.
Well, apparently you just got cold.
Okay. No, actually, I'll be transparent with you guys. All right. So this is I'm not sure you can see this, but for the month of October, I'm up $1,200.
Look at you. Could have been 13 if you went the right way.
Well, the aces got me. So the aces, they came. My ladies came through for me. So I'll chalk that one up, unless something miraculous happens. Unless Shohei wants to go crazy for me. Anything else for me, babe?
Mike Santana or Trick Williams, bound for glory. Who you got?
I think Santana's going to win. Jeremy?
I like your style.
All right, guys. So
what about you? You got anything else?
Nope.
Well,
got nothing.
Everybody, you're bound to hear from us before November.
Yes, you are. All right, guys. So as always, make sure to thumbs up anything for the algorithm, turn your post notifications, subscribe, and Ringside Collectibles code MMAD to save 10% off your order. I'm Alo Aaron Lloyd.
Or go to Target. They got AEW figures for 70% off.
Do they? You don't need those.
Use promo code MMadness at the self-checkout. They'll give you 70% off. If you don't use that, you got to pay 100%.
Well, I guess I'll just be sitting at the register then, trying to plug that in. So we will see you guys soon.
Got him now, put him down right now, hit him with the palm handle. Tuning up the band, y'all don't understand. Fist of Superman, it's a summer slam. Here we go again. Fans marking man, I hate my balls. Shut the Vince McMahon, it ain't safe to land off the cell. Fans love it, ain't hard to tell. Talking madness, awesome. Well, what I'm cooking, man, y'all off the smell.